Hey friends, so this video marks the end of my Nova Scotia tour for 2021. And as you can see, I'm in the house and there will be no more adventures. Long story short, I always say that and then it ends up being a long story anyways, but here we go. So basically I got to the house in November and I had planned on doing maybe one or two kind of day trips, just, you know, getting in the truck with the dog and going, finding a couple things to show you guys. I got busy with my side hustles. Those I'll touch base on in a different video, probably a vlog later on. And because of the timing, there was a couple of things that I wanted to kind of get rolling into the Christmas season, because I wanted to see if I could possibly cash in on some of the Christmas shopping that was being done. So I hunkered down and was working on a bunch of stuff. Fast forward a month and a half and I got a little bit of cabin fever. I had to get out of the house. So I did a little research and found a couple roads that I hadn't been on before from here. Decided, hey, oh, look, there's a lighthouse. It was the Bass River Lighthouse that we had planned on visiting and I was going to show you, which is essentially what this video was going to be. But we left here, explored a little bit. I stopped, found a big open field, played some ball with the dog. You know, we were just taking it easy, enjoying the day. It was a nice sunny day like it is today. A little chilly, but not too bad. No snow really on the ground. It was a beautiful day. So we're driving along. I knew where I was going. I kind of looked at Google Maps before. I had it in my phone, but I hadn't dialed it up yet, so it wasn't loaded kind of thing. So we're driving along, got down to a dirt road, which I knew. There was a certain section of the adventure that was going to be on a dirt road before we got to the main highway down by the lighthouse, and it's basically between Five Islands and Parsboro and that area. There's a kind of a major road that goes along a bay that we were going to connect with. So we're going down dirt road. All of a sudden there was a bit of a Y and I took the Y that looked more traveled. Kept going. All of a sudden it was getting so that it wasn't so traveled, a little more off-roady. And so I dialed up the GPS in the truck because the phone had no service, and it said, you know, what did it say? 2.3 kilometers to the road. Okay, well, that's not so bad. So I kept going. And as we're going, I started getting into the basically frozen puddles in the road. They were pretty small in the beginning, and they got a little bigger. And we had medium-sized ones, a little bit bigger, a couple of them we were going through in the truck. I had 4x on, and you know, we're kind of going across these little bigger and bigger puddles, breaking up the ice because it wasn't frozen all the way through. And then we got to a point where it was kind of, do I keep going forward or do I start going backward? And backward meant backing up because there's nowhere to turn around. It's a one-lane road in the forest. And I'm like, okay, what did I get myself into? So I went a couple more puddles. And that's when all of a sudden I pulled out a one and I had no power steering. The brakes felt weird. And I'm like, oh shit. So I got out and turned on the video camera. So I'll show you a little bit of that here. I'll probably beep out some language because I was not really impressed with myself. I should have basically turned around at the first one, but we were so deep down this road, looking at the GPS, Garmin, anyways, that I wasn't sure if I should keep going straight or just give up and back up. And, you know, there might have been a little bit of my ego in there playing around. I don't know. But at this point, I'd messed up the truck somehow. I looked underneath and we had fluid dripping out. Looked like brake fluid to me. but I wasn't sure. Could have been power steering fluid at that time, wasn't sure. And also I looked under and we had a belt that was off the pulley. It was just dangling around. So I'm like, okay. So the belt off the pulley might have something to do with the power steering, not sure. If there's mechanics watching this, I apologize. I'm an idiot when it comes to mechanics. I'm a geek and a nerd and a designer and a computer dweeb. I'm not a mechanic. So here's a little bit of that video. We'll kind of show you where I ended up. And at a certain point, I even picked up my phone and no service, but I still typed in a message to my sister saying, I think I might be in trouble. Okay, so I'll show you that now. All right, friends, so I made it through one more. Barely. And I should have walked this first because, again, I'm a dumbass. But this is what I'm looking at now. Despite my apprehension, I'm not going to go forward. I'm going to try and go backwards. And that means I'm basically going to be hitting the shit that I broke up in reverse for I don't know how long until I can find a place to turn around. I just don't know what to do at this point. I can't go forward. I don't know what's after this. I walked down to basically where you see those trees cropping out on the right there, and then there's that big rock there. There's also some big rocks sticking out of the ice. I don't know how deep the water is or how deep the hole is around there, so I gotta try and retreat. Whether that's going to be an option remains to be seen. So adventure's not over, but essentially, fuck, canceled. So that's where we were. Now, you got to remember this is about, I don't know, about 2:30 in the afternoon now. It gets dark around 4:30. I'm looking at that as kind of like, okay, well, if I'm walking out of here, or I have to walk out of here, which way do I go? Do I keep moving forward or do I go back? I knew that backwards, there was at least, I would say a good 10 kilometers before I got to a road where there might be some traffic. Forward was saying at that point, because I'd gone a little further or whatever, it was, I don't know if it was recalculating or whatever, but it was basically saying 3.2 kilometers to Wyvern Road, which is the road that I thought I was on. So here's the wonderful GPS that led me this way, saying we got 3.6 kilometers of this road. And look at it. Ice puddle, ice puddle, ice puddle, ice puddle. And to be honest, we kind of crossed quite a few, although not quite this large. And now, as far as I can tell, I don't have power steering. There's the back view. Dog's freaking out. I'm freaking out. I don't know. I guess we'll soon find out. Anyways, I basically panicked to a point where I was like, okay, if me and the dog are walking out of here, the truck's going to be here. I don't know even technically, where I am. I mean, I could get back to it, obviously, but it was kind of like, okay, I have no cell service. Let's see what we can do. So you'll see in the dash cam video, I think, I get out and I walk down the road past a bunch of more longer, deeper, possibly iced over puddles. And I'm like, okay, I don't think forward's an option. And then I'm looking back and I'm like, well, I know what I came through. And a lot of those were like the ones that were forward, not quite as big, but there was quite a few of them. And I'm just kind of like weighing the options of back, forward, back, forward. I didn't know. I kind of sat there for a minute and went, well, backwards is the devil I know. Put it in reverse. Here's the dash cam footage from that. backing up through all the crap that I drove forward through, that I busted my truck on, keeping in mind I have no power steering and I have no power brakes. And I'm just like backing up. The steering wheel's like all over the place through the puddles of ice. My arm is still technically sore. Okay, hang on. And try and get back. But as you'll see, we got out, found a place to turn around, kept going, got home. When I pulled into Spring Hill here, there's a garage here, Mattins's garage. It's a little shout out for him because he does awesome work. And I just basically took the truck down there, parked it because I wasn't sure what was going on with the brakes. And that was Saturday. Grabbing my camera bags, camera gimbal, the dog's chucker and his 2 balls because I knew we were going to need those. I had other stuff in my pockets, carrying my half-filled coffee still because we didn't really get that far. And walked up the hill to the house and basically came in and wallowed in my own stupidity, maybe? I don't know. There might have been a little bit of that. Just for, not getting to the first part of that road where it started getting rough and went, okay, this is obviously the wrong road. But I like adventure. I've gone on roads like that before and had no troubles and, came up to the connecting road and went, yeah, cool, that was fun or whatever, right? But not that day, not this day. So in hindsight, once I got home, cooled off and kind of settled down, I looked for the bright side. I wasn't still out there. I wasn't walking forward or backward, looking for cell signal. We made it out, we made it back. We were safe. The brakes actually are fine. As far as the truck goes, I got a report, so he's looked at it. The belt that came off is actually for the air conditioning, so it had no relevance whatever. They checked it and they're putting it back on or putting a new belt on. The steering and the brakes, however, basically what I did is somewhere along the line, a big chunk of ice, big enough to crack the steering box, did so. And all the fluid that I saw dripping out was the hydraulic fluid from the power steering pump, which also is hydraulic assistance for the power brakes, which is why my brakes were really, really hard to push down, but still worked. So basically, I had no power steering, no power brakes on the way home. That was the extent of what I did to the truck. So it's still in the shop. They're going to get to it after Christmas. And it's going to be an expensive bill because a steering box apparently is not cheap. Thank God for credit cards. So that is the end of the adventure because 28th of December puts us pretty much to the end of the year, and the whole Nova Scotia adventure, the whole Nova Scotia Tour was through 2021, so that's going to kind of be the end of that. Whether I resume it, maybe part 2 in 2022, I don't know. I really don't know what the new year is going to hold for me. I'm still looking for work, still a little on the broke side. So we'll see. That said, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the campgrounds that hosted me through the summer. This was an awesome summer. I had a really good year. It was really nice to just hang out and, trade services. I hope everybody's happy with their videos. As far as I know, everybody that I did a video for is happy with it. A couple people haven't really done much with theirs, but that's their prerogative. It's their video. It's in their hands. I'm not going to worry about it. Some campgrounds instantly were like, showing the pictures on their Instagram and their Facebook and, ran with it. And I hope that helped their season a little bit. And I hope that it helps their seasons moving forward because, that's essentially what I was hoping to accomplish, was to give them a promotional tool so that once this whole COVID stuff is over, which apparently it's not, but once it is, they have a little bit of an edge to get back and get those people back interested and have a little bit of a promotional tool to, get more new visitors interested and that kind of thing. So I had a great time. Everybody was amazing. All the campgrounds, the lobster boat tour, Tamara and Kyle were awesome. I mean, I could name everybody, but I'd be here all day. So I just want to say thank you to all the campgrounds that hosted me, that accepted the deal to trade. I hope you got everything you need. And if you ever need anything from me, just reach out, let me know. It was a great summer and I really appreciate it and had a great time. So yeah, I think that's it. Based on the timing of this video, I guess it's a appropriate to end it with happy holidays. I hope everybody has a good Christmas and a good New Year. And I hope 2022 holds great and interesting and fun things for everyone. And that includes me. So have an awesome holiday season. We'll see you next year. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.